Your magic is your ability to reinvent your life in real time. That's the message arriving for you from Hermes, the Greek trickster and master of transition. And he has stepped forward to help you today. Hi, love. Welcome into your timeless mythos reading. I'm so grateful that you're here, whether you're returning, welcome back. Or if you're finding our circle for the first time, please know that you are welcome, wanted, and absolutely safe here with me and my guides. I'm Christina. I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine and an intuitive channel. Today's reading is going to move through 3 parts. First is the myth itself, the story of the archetype who came forward for you. Then the deeper themes that it's stirring in your life right now. And finally, the full card spread, so you can see what is shifting and how this energy is unfolding for your life. If this found you, you can trust something in this video is meant for you. And because it's a collective reading, it's important you take what resonates for you and just gently leave the rest behind. That part is for someone else. When something does land, like the video, claim the energy into your world, grab that tendril of spirit and pull it into you. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so the future Mythos readings will tune even more clearly to your frequency. Now let's take a moment to anchor our awareness into the present moment. And let's step back into the mythos together. Hermes entered the world already unwilling to be boxed in. As the story goes, he slipped from his cradle within hours of being born, wandered across the world, and rewrote the rules of existence before anyone could even name what he was becoming. But Hermes' magic isn't in the tricks or the speed or the brilliance. It's in the way he refuses to stay confined by a single identity. Every single time life tried to define him, Hermes shifted. He stole Apollo's cattle, definitely, but he did it because he refused to be underestimated, because he knew he was capable of more than the role others expected him to play. He reinvented himself with charm when he was caught, invented art out of thin air, transformed conflict into connection, and turned trouble into opportunity. His gift is that he changes identity without ever losing himself. His relatable pain, the part that we know very well as humans, is that people didn't trust him because he didn't stay in one shape. They feared what they couldn't predict. They misread his adaptability as malicious deception. They labeled him as unstable because he refused to sit still. And you know this feeling, the discomfort of others when you grow too fast, when you evolve beyond the role they knew you in, or shift direction in ways they can't understand. But Hermes knows that identity is not a prison. It is a tool. He became the only god who could walk freely between worlds, Olympus, Earth, and the underworld. And it wasn't because he asked permission, but because he embraced the parts of himself that others found confusing. Hermes shows up for you when you are shedding an identity, craving reinvention, ready to pivot because you've outgrown old expectations. When you're tired of being trapped in a version of yourself you never chose, you're ready to move even if others don't understand. He teaches that your life changes the moment you do. Reinvention is not escaping, it's aligning. Hermes appears because you're standing at a point in your life where staying the same is hurting more than changing. You may be feeling restless, boxed in, misunderstood, pressured to stay consistent with an identity you've long since outgrown, frustrated by stagnation, afraid of what reinvention will cost, or tired of holding back your potential to protect other people's feelings. Hermes is here to tell you that you are not that old story anymore. You don't need to justify changing your direction. You are not flaky, okay? You are evolving. Movement is your magic. Reinvention is your right. And this card comes with momentum. You don't need to have it all figured out. Movement itself opens the way forward. Remembering that your magic is your ability to reinvent your life in real time. You're allowed to become someone new, and you do not have to be limited by who you used to be. This is the message of Hermes. So let's check in with our full spread. Now, there's a lot of cards today. Hermes came in with some pretty big energy. And I say pretty big energy, and what do we have? The card energy. Now, this is very interesting. So we have energy as the hummingbird, we have create as the spider, and then we have disguise as the, what are they? Oh, iguana. So fascinating. Energy, disguise, and create. So, boy, is this trickster energy, this energy of reinvention. If you consider the idea that identity is not a fixed or static trait, I love the notion that our who we think we are is essentially a character that we've developed over time. But what if you were to consider? So that's this idea of a disguise. But the reality is, your spirit is infinite. Your spirit is connected to the cosmos. We are all simply a tendril, a shard, a component of the infinite divine. So look at this energy, this idea of the divine life force moving through you, and how much Hermes demonstrated that for us in the many stories of him, his willingness to flex and shift and create, to not be held by this one disguise, this one idea of here's what your identity or your spirit is supposed to be, and to endlessly create with the universe and the divine new quote unquote disguises, new identities, new ways of being and moving in the world that felt right in the moment. We can get trapped in our sense of an identity. People can unintentionally sort of insist that we stay in a wool sweater that's become itchy and 3 sizes too small, right? So here's this opportunity. The energy underneath this reading is all about letting yourself shift, letting yourself pivot, bringing that divine energy into who do I want to be in this moment? Not who am I expected to be, but what aspects of the universe are trying to come through in me right now. Now let's take a look and see. We're using the Trash Panda Tarot today. Knight of Swords energy to begin with. Knight of Swords is very much the brave adventurer who takes quick action. And you see this delightful little fellow is on a toboggan going down a hill, and he's in the air right there. He's kind of taking a jump through the air, and he is headed toward a river, but he's going to jump across. So you see, this is very fast moving, adventurous energy. This is, I am willing to meet life wherever the next adventure is, to play and bring my joy and my fun and my spirit into it, and see what can I do? What can I create with this joyful energy in order to make a shift happen in my world? And you can hear I'm talking a little bit faster than usual. That's this resonance of Hermes. It's this quickness, this wittiness, this charming, this very kind of Knight of Wands energy. Here we have Knight of Swords, but it's Hermes is very much the trickster, the transformer, as the magician. The magician card itself is all about manifestation. And so we're seeing here this manifestation as it comes to identity. And so let's see. We have the Ace of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, and 4 of Cups. Okay, interesting. So Ace of Cups is all about like new inspiration and idea. 2 of Pentacles is choices that are difficult to make. And 4 of Cups is not actually being sure you made the right choice, right? Is this sense that, wow, this hasn't quite turned out the way that I hoped it would. So I'm having the sense here that you have been in a space where you've been trying to reinvent yourself, and you may have chosen a particular direction. After trauma, after things fall apart, and by trauma, I mean an overwhelming event or series of events that have had a lasting effect on your nervous system, on your spirit, on the way you perceive the world. So when we look at this energy, what we're seeing is that you picked yourself up after this happened. You dusted yourself off And you did your best to create something new for yourself, to say, you know what, I can't stay stuck forever. I'm going to move forward. You made a choice, a difficult choice from all of the options. You said, here's what I'm going to pursue. Here's what I'm pretty sure is the best thing for me right now. But now here you are in this Four of Cups energy. It's not like the worst in the world, right? Everything's not horrible. But this little fella is looking kind of bored, kind of just not vibing with life right now, right? There is this big energy here that you've been sticking with it because it was a choice you made, not because it's the choice you would make right now. And the thing is, this is sort of a sunken cost fallacy, is what it's called in the logical philosophy world, right? Where we say, well, because I put this time and effort into this thing, I need to kind of like stick with it no matter what. But that's where the fallacy comes in, this idea that it's something that feels true, but it's actually not. Sunken cost is something you can't get back, no matter what. It's the money you already spent on something that's now broken. Or, have you ever had like an older car and you kept trying to repair it? And because you put so much money into it, you kept being willing to put more money into it. And then you realize like all this is going to do is suck my money away forever. It's kind of that type of energy. This idea that just because you put time and energy into something doesn't mean it's actually the right choice to continue doing it over and over and over. And so here's this notion that you did put time and energy in and you moved forward from the worst, okay? You put yourself out there. You chose what felt most inspiring, most emotionally aligned. You made tough choices. You sorted from everything in front of you. But the reality is, you're not in love with it. That's okay. Remember, again, this energy underlying the reading. You can use the energy of life. You can use your capacity and your brilliance to create a new disguise. And remembering that disguise, again, it's not something false, except in the sense that everything that we think we are as individual humans is a little bit not the whole story. So who would you rather be right now? Will you consider allowing yourself to move toward that? And then we have Seven of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. We're seeing here, Seven of Cups is all about having lots of choices. So similar energy, a little bit to Two of Pentacles, except with the Seven of Cups, the choice can end up being an illusion. Originally, the Seven of Cups in the Rider-Waite Tarot was kind of like Aladdin in his cave, right? It was like these infinite choices, but they might not all actually be as good as we thought they would be. So we're seeing this continuous energy here that you had all these options, you made a choice, and you're actually not sure that it was quite turning out how you had hoped. That something about it, something about the way you thought it would feel, the way you thought it would show up in your life, has not played out, has felt like, wow, this isn't what I thought I was getting myself into. And with Ace of Pentacles energy here, this is indicating to me that you were really trying to create stability in your career, your home life, your anchored rootedness into your own self. Something about this identity that you chose for yourself, that you chose to craft and create. You worked very hard to make this stable, to bring yourself into stability and safety and settledness. And yet, the truth is, love, it just isn't feeling right. And I have so much empathy for you in this. I've been there. I've been there. It sucks. It sucks. It stinks to put this much time and energy into something and realize, wow, I might need to make a shift. This isn't making me happy the way that I had hoped it would. It's really hard to admit that and then to do something about it. But that's the opportunity in front of you. Now, I want to turn over. Do you see how many multiples we had come out? Hermes, again, has this energy of like, let's shift it. Let's move it. Let's roll with the punches, flow with the waves and the cycles and the currents of life and play with it, constantly allowing transformation. Because your adaptability is a power, not a flaw. So as soon as you decide to move, the pathway will open. And Hermes is bringing so much of this energy of just like, let's move it, let's shift it. So let's see what's underneath from the Moonology deck. We have detoxify and clear your mind. So this, I want to say, is coming back again. Can you see all the cards? Let me bring a little. Okay, good, you can. So I think this is really saying like letting go again, detoxifying this old identity that's no longer working for you. Okay. And it's detoxify because something about it has really stuck. Like, I think that you were very eager to form a stable identity and to feel like people know who I am. They can rely on me. They can trust how I'm going to respond in situations. I am always going to be like this. These are the qualities and traits that I am allowed to have now. And the invitation, what's hidden, what we may not be seeing, is that you need to clear that right out of your mind. Because that's a limiting belief. Anytime we say to ourselves, I am this and not that, here's who I'm allowed to be and who I'm not allowed to be, that is actually a limiting belief. What if you weren't to say any of those things? What if you were simply to meet life and the energy of life in each moment with your own spirit, trusting your heart, trusting your spirit that the you that comes forward is exactly right and adapted precisely for that moment? You don't have to hold in yourself this series of this is who I am, this is who I'm not. It's a false idea. Instead, clear your mind of that notion, of those restrictions, and see what you can create with all the energy that you've been using to keep yourself boxed in. Remember that reinvention is not instability. And frequently other people will kind of push on us the idea that it is, right? Because they have things that they want from you. And it's a neutral energy, right? It's neither good nor bad. It's human nature to wish that others were predictable because then they're kind of more like NPCs in our life, right? Like, oh, I know what they're going to do. That's so-and-so. But you don't owe that to them. You get to write your own story because your magic is your ability to reinvent your life in real time. You can shift direction any moment you choose. You do not have to stay trapped in any identity, including, you know what, this isn't the right deck. I thought it was, but here I am looking over at this wild unknown. Okay, I have it right side up. And it is calling. So the wild unknown is absolutely calling to you. This unknown identity, this opportunity for unfettered creation to really connect into the part of yourself that refuses to stay trapped in any story, including the one you made yourself. You do not have to stay in it. Just because you made it, just because you spent a lot of time and energy and maybe money making a choice, creating a nice box for yourself, it's lovely. It's wonderful. Is that really where you want to live? Because everything about this reading is saying that it's not. Now, it's not that nothing about it is good. It doesn't mean you need to, okay, that is just, all right. So many cards. Y'all hear me sigh because every time I think that I'm going to be like, no, then Spirit says, yeah, actually. So we're going to roll through. Hermes has come in. And again, it's this adaptable energy, this adaptation, this shifting and moving and playing. So let's see what these energies have. First, we have the Mother of Wands in reverse. So this is fire energy. This is Queen of Wands energy. So Queen of Wands can be, in the upright, she's that like kind of archetypal, like fiery, sexy energy. In the reverse, it can be a little bit of instability, right? More like, that person who can be explosive or so fiery that you never quite feel like you can relax around them. So there's this, I'm curious to see what comes next from it. Okay, we have a lot of reverses here. 10 of Cups reversed, Strength reversed, and Hermit reversed, coming with the Mother of Wands. Okay, so this opportunity is finding the passion. One of the strengths of the Queen of Wands is that she doesn't actually require protection on the same level from fire energy that other characters in that deck, in that suit rather, do. And so there's this idea of letting go of the notion that you have to be a particular way, that you have to be so protected, that your happiness, 10 of Cups, is only found through gently persevering, through taking this hermit energy, through going off to the cave in the woods and quietly, like, meditating for years and transforming yourself in a particular way. This energy is really saying, you know what? Nah, I'm going to do it a different way. Hermes is very much the opposite of that, like, quiet strength energy. Hermes is like, you know what? I'm going to slip around the back. I'm going to go around the side. I'm going to do a little flip and a twist and a dive and a tumble. And now I'm springing up with a new trick. So we're seeing here that this old story about how you could find happiness, about who you needed to be, about this maybe even archetype energy that you thought you would want to inhabit, maybe that's not actually the way for you. Maybe that's not really what your spirit wants to call forward in this moment. And now let's see from this giant stack of cards what we have. 10 of Swords, Mother of Swords, Tower, Son of Wands. Okay, wow. So there's a part here that says let go of all of your thoughts about how things are supposed to be. You have to let it go. This 10 of Swords is just being done, being completely finished with it. With this particular energy, this Queen of Swords energy is very much like, I like boundaries, and I know what's right, I know what's wrong, I make those choices, that kind of energy. And so it's really saying, and here we have Tower, like, let it go, man. Let it go. Everything like surrounding this Mother of Swords energy is saying it's time for that to come down. It's time. I've said the last few readings how much I love stubbornness, and I do. And yet here, what I'm hearing, what I'm getting is like, don't be so stubborn about it. Let go of the disguise. Create a new one. Create a new one. You don't have to be stuck in this. You don't have to be stuck in any of these ideas of who your identity was supposed to be, who you told yourself you were supposed to evolve into. And here's the Son of Wands, this Page of Wands energy. And so we're seeing this like invitation to come into inspiration, to quick action. This is exactly that, that what I was saying with Hermes is just like that playful, joyful kind of little boy. I'm going to trick a little, I'm going to slide around, I'm going to get what I want. It's okay to bring some of that play, that energy of play and creation back into your world. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Sun. Okay. Sun is the very happiest card in the deck, and it casts a very positive aspect over everything else that has come out in this reading. So 6 of Pentacles is connecting in with generous spirit, with this notion of giving and receiving and connecting with others in order to find that stability. So I think you were trying to sort of build a home inside your own self. And there's nothing wrong with that, except if it's leading you into that hermit, right? This hermit energy that it's saying to let go of. It's like you were just trying to tough things out on your own because maybe you thought that's who you were supposed to be, that you were going to build yourself into someone so strong and so self-reliant that you never had to really interact with healthy interdependency with other people. And it's not codependency, right? That's an unhealthy enmeshment. Healthy interdependence is that understanding that we are part of a web of life. We are all connected together. And when we allow ourselves to be in that, not to lean into it, not to use it as a crutch, but to really be in that and see the give and take, the 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 outward momentum, the yang energy of the universe, and that receiving inward, the yin energy of the universe. And we have here the Justice card alongside that. Justice is really saying like this energy of what we put out is what we can receive back. So as you look at this, you can find the stability you wanted, but with more joy, with more play, with more creative, inspired energy. When you let go of these notions that you had about who you were supposed to be and be in this give and receive, this back and forth dynamic of playfulness with the universe and with your own self and your own identity. Who is it that you want to be? What character is your spirit most interested in exploring right now? And that's the way of perfect happiness, the sun. That's the way of perfect joy and innocence and the light of the divine, that brightness of spirit inside ourselves that we just know, like we know, like we know how we're connected, how everything comes together. All right, I'm going to get one more card here. And I am not taking like 10 cards, but I am taking this one, Shapeshifter Fluidity. This is exactly what we've... Hermes, I love you so much. That was like 10 cards, okay? I'm setting a boundary now. Shapeshifter Fluidity. Allowing this flow. It's so perfect that that jumped out because this is exactly what we've been talking about. This is who Hermes is, this energy we have been discussing this entire reading. Your magic is your ability to reinvent your life in real time. Let yourself feel the fluidity of your identity, of your opportunities, of connecting with, and again, meeting the energy of the world in this present moment as it is, with what is rising in you naturally, not because you told yourself it's what it should be. And that is going to change everything for you. If you want to receive the deeper energetic transmission from Hermes today, I've channeled a couple messages for you. They're linked in the description box below. So when you're ready, go give them a listen. Let them meet you where you are. And thank you so much again for being here, love. Thank you for showing up for your own story with courage and an open heart. And until next time, be gentle with yourself, okay?